Every great legacy begins with a single, definitive choice: to push through the late nights, to master a new craft, and build your own value. Watch the small wins compound into your first thousand.
Listen, today we are entirely stripping away the illusions of overnight wealth. We're going to explore one of the most profoundly transformative journeys a human being can take, going from absolute zero to your first legitimate $1,000. Now, to be clear right off the bat, we aren't talking about trust funds here. We're not talking about venture capital or magical internet shortcuts or, getting lucky with a lottery ticket. In this explainer, we are going to map out a deeply grounded, totally realistic roadmap to creating actual value out of thin air. Think about it. What if you had to generate $1,000 starting right now, today, with almost nothing? No wealthy parents to bail you out, no expensive camera gear, no angel investors backing you up, and absolutely no perfect business idea handed to you on a silver platter. Just your time, a phone or a laptop, and the sheer stubborn willingness to start. It sounds completely daunting, doesn't it? I mean, the blank page is always terrifying. But here's the reality. This exact journey, this transition from absolute zero to something real, happens every single day all around the world. So here is our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The first $1,000. 2. Identify skills, solve problems. 3. Entering the marketplace. 4. Scaling your early income. 5. Building a repeatable system. And 6. The creator mindset. Let's completely demystify this process.
Okay, section 1, the first $1,000.
Look, to a billionaire or even a successful mid-level executive, a grand is basically a rounding error. You certainly can't retire on it. It's not going to buy you a mansion on the beach. But when you are starting from zero, your first $1,000 is absolutely, without a doubt, the most important money you will ever earn in your entire life. Why? Because honestly, it isn't really about the cash. It's a massive psychological earthquake. It's the ultimate proof of concept that you, independently, using your own mind, can create value that another human being will gladly open their wallet to pay for. Once you shatter the ingrained belief that you need a traditional 9-to-5 job to make money, well, reality just completely shifts. Moving on to section 2, identify skills, solve problems. The biggest lie in modern entrepreneurship is that it takes money to make money. It just doesn't. People get so paralyzed because they think they need a corner office, a sleek website, or 10 grand in startup capital. They don't. Most successful, sustainable journeys start with something incredibly boring and incredibly simple. Your very first opportunity is likely hiding inside a skill you already completely take for granted. We're talking about writing clear emails, editing short videos, managing a social media account, translating documents, tutoring a kid in math, or just understanding basic sales. Actually, scratch that. Sometimes it's surprisingly lucrative to just organize a chaotic spreadsheet or a messy inbox for a severely overwhelmed local business owner. You might be thinking, but I'm not a world-renowned expert in any of these. Here's the secret. You don't need to be. You just need to be competent enough to save someone else time or cure their headache. You deliver a useful result first, and you master the craft later. Think of it like a giant puzzle. This right here is the fundamental engine of literally every legitimate business on Earth. Step 1, a person has a skill. Step 2, someone else has a problem. Step 3, a transaction is made. Boom. That's it. That is capitalism at its absolute most foundational level. So your first step is to stop asking the greedy, dead-end question, how can I get rich? And start asking a much more powerful question. What can I do that someone will pay to have solved?
Section 3, entering the marketplace.
Once you figure out what problem you can solve, it's time for the crucible, entering the marketplace. There's an old saying, the marketplace teaches lessons that tutorials cannot, and it hits the nail right on the head. You can spend years safely watching videos on how to start a business. You can read a library of books and draft 100 perfect business plans. But until you actually look someone in the eye or email them and ask for money in exchange for your help, you are only playing pretend. Stepping into the arena is the literal only thing that reveals what people genuinely want. And hey, what if they reject your idea? What if no one buys? That's not a failure. It's simply incredibly valuable market data telling you to adjust your approach. Now, entering the market requires sales, but selling doesn't have to mean gross manipulation or sleazy high-pressure tactics. Good selling is just translation. You see, you aren't selling a service. You're selling a solution. A photographer isn't selling pixels on a screen. They're selling preserved family memories. A video editor isn't selling cut footage. They're selling audience retention and giving a creator their weekends back. A tutor, they sell confidence. In fact, to put it in perspective, the absolute fastest path to your first $1,000 is finding an existing business that already has cash flow and customers and just taking a messy, annoying problem completely off their plate. Section 4. Scaling your early income. Once you get that first spark, we scale. Imagine you decide to offer video editing. You absolutely do not need 100 customers on day one. You just find one person and you charge them $20 for a short video. That's your proof. The math itself is beautifully simple. You do an amazing job, you gain some confidence, and you find 4 more customers. Great, now you've made $100. As you gain testimonials and speed, you raise your rates. 10 customers at $50 gets you to $500. 10 customers at $100 gets you to that magical $1,000 milestone. So the crucial takeaway here is that the math is easy. The desperately hard part is the persistence required to build the engine that repeatedly brings you those customers and consistently delivers excellent results. Which brings us to Section 5, building a repeatable system. So you've made that early money, and let me tell you, the temptation to show off right now is going to be overwhelming. You'll want to buy new clothes or go to an expensive dinner to celebrate and post it online. Resist it. Your first $1,000 should teach you, not impress your friends. Reinvest that initial capital directly back into your absolute ability to earn. Buy better software, pay for a course to sharpen your education, upgrade your equipment so you're twice as fast, run some targeted advertising to reach more clients, or simply put it into an emergency reserve so you can take bigger risks later. This exact discipline is how your first $1,000 becomes the concrete foundation for your next $10,000. Because earning $1,000 once, well, that's just a possibility. It proves it can be done. But earning it repeatedly, that means you have built a system. And when you can scale that system without trading every single waking hour of your life, maybe by raising your prices significantly or building a strong referral network where clients just come to you automatically, you cross the line. You transition from being a stressed out, busy freelancer into a true business owner. That is a completely different level of freedom. Section 6, the creator mindset. To reach and sustain that level of freedom, you have to undergo a profound psychological transformation. And listen, there is a very dangerous trap here. The internet right now is absolutely flooded with scams promising overnight wealth, guaranteed crypto returns, effortless dropshipping income, instant riches with zero work. It's everywhere. Ignore them completely. Choose one realistic path and give it time. Real businesses have real customers. Real businesses solve painful problems. You do not need 10 different passive income streams when you haven't even built one reliable active stream yet. Choose a path, give it extreme focus, expect rejection, learn from it, and allow your skills the time they actually need to compound. As you walk this path and put in the hard work, your entire worldview is going to shift. You'll naturally abandon the consumer mindset, where you're always asking, what can I buy, or who is going to hand me an opportunity? Instead, you adopt the creator mindset. You look at the world around you and you ask, what problem can I create a solution for? You stop waiting for a boss to promote you or the economy to save you, and you take total, unyielding responsibility for your own rescue. That mindset shift alone, that's going to pay dividends for the rest of your life. Because the most profound lesson of this entire journey isn't financial at all. It's the realization that the most important thing you earned wasn't the money. It was the unshakable belief that you can create value from nothing. Once you learn how to do that, once you push through the agonizing self-doubt, find a customer, and deliver a solution, you acquire one of the most powerful and liberating skills in the human experience. You become fundamentally, permanently self-reliant. So don't focus on becoming a millionaire tomorrow. That is just a distraction. Focus on becoming undeniably useful today. Learn one valuable skill, find one agonizing problem, help one person, earn your first dollar, and then earn another. As this explainer comes to an end, I want you to look around at the world in front of you and ask yourself one simple life-changing question. What problem are you going to solve today?